I'm Jeremy Maxand. I'm the Executive Director of the Living Independence Network Corporation, or LINC, in Boise, Idaho.
Welcome, Jeremy. Thank you so much for joining me today. Can you share a little bit with our viewers today about your business and the focus of your work?
Absolutely. LINC is what we call a center for independent living. We're one of 3 centers for independent living in Idaho. There's a center based in Moscow, and there's a center based in Pocatello. And centers for independent living are essentially community resources for Idahoans, anybody who has a disability or an older adult. And we provide a number of different services to support independent living in the community, including direct in-home direct care with personal assistants that can provide different levels of care that support people staying in their homes, living in the community rather than needing institutional care. And then we also have an independent living services program that provides a whole host of resources and programming, from a ramp and durable medical equipment loan program to peer mentoring, life skills training, transition support from institutional care back into the community. And then we do a lot of self and systems advocacy work to make sure that people can advocate for themselves, but that we're collectively advocating to improve the accessibility of our community in general for people with disabilities. And that's basically what we do. We serve about 9,000 square miles in southern Idaho. We cover 16 counties and part of a reservation, and it's a fantastic organization with a great team doing what I think is really important work.
Wow, thank you for the great overview. Can you share a little bit about what you enjoy most about the work that you do?
I think the thing I enjoy most, and I don't personally, and I don't as the executive director necessarily get to experience it all the time, but just the kind of the positivity and the elation and the excitement that comes when people who have just faced barrier after barrier after barrier to trying to just live their life how they want to live their life. What's so exciting is what happens when you can support that person and empower them to advocate for themselves, to access resources they maybe hadn't accessed, to do the things they need to do to live as independently as they want in the community. And it can be a very little thing. It can be a ramp into somebody's home. It can be talking to somebody who has a disability like you have that gets what you're going through, that can give you advice. It could be anything like that. And as small as those little instances seem in the bigger picture, they are so impactful and so powerful for the folks whose lives are changed for the better. And that's really, I think, that's really, besides the team I get to work with and the community members we get to work alongside, that's probably the one thing.
And is there something personal that brought you to LINC and the work that you do with LINC? Do you have a story that ties you to your work?
Yeah. So when I was 15, I ended up with what's called transverse myelitis. So I ended up in a wheelchair. So I use a manual wheelchair and have done so since 1989, I think. And for a lot of my life, I was not necessarily a disability rights advocate. But as I got older and got more experience professionally and did a lot of work in community organizing and politics and political work, I just got to the point in my life where I was like, you know what, like I'm kind of tired of the things I run into all the time, and I really want to see change to make our community, my neighborhood, my community more accessible. That's, I think, several years ago where I just decided to take a turn and focus on that work and try and contribute to the movement and the community, contribute the skill set that I had developed over the years around organizing and political work. And I just like working with people, and I like trying to create positive community change. And that really kind of drives me and is my passion. So it's a really good fit. And I'm so happy that I was able to land in a job doing what I'm doing with the people I get to work with on the issues that I get to work on.
Sounds like a great fit. Do you have one piece of advice that you would share with our viewers today? Maybe something you share with LINC clients?
Well, I think if I'm speaking to somebody who doesn't have a disability, I would just encourage them to be really open to learning about what it means to live life with a disability and a lot of the barriers that people face, and to think about ways that you can help remove those barriers. Disabilities really can be really uncomfortable for a lot of people and kind of challenging to talk about. Nobody wants to, say the wrong thing or be embarrassed or that sort of thing. But the folks that are in our community, in the disability community in Idaho, are very open to just and really funny, which is great for breaking the ice and just like building relationships. And I just want to encourage people to kind of be open to that and to reach out and take advantage of opportunities to learn and build relationships with people who go through the world with a disability, whether they're deaf or hard of hearing or blind or low vision or use a chair or have an intellectual or developmental disability. You learn so much from interacting with those folks, and it makes your organization and your business stronger in a lot of ways. And if I'm talking to folks with disabilities, I would just say, get in the fight, join up on a committee or an organization or on an issue. And if you're at a place where you just feel really frustrated that the world is kind of set up to stop you in every way at every turn, know that there are people out there who are in the exact same boat and are working to make the world a better, more inclusive place, and that there's definitely a seat at the table. And if people want to get involved and get active, like, they should reach out and get plugged in, because there's a lot of opportunities to do really good work right now with a lot of really good people. So that's what I would say.
Great advice for people with disabilities and those of us without, and that is to start the conversation and have the conversation, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, well, thank you for joining me today and for sharing some information about LINC. And for those viewers who might be interested in learning more about LINC, there is a feature on our community spotlight section in our video library. So please take a moment to look at that as well. Thanks so much. Have a great day, Jeremy.
Thank you.